Welcome to the Aging Parent Playbook, the podcast that empowers adult children of aging parents to navigate the complexities of caregiving, family dynamics, and senior care with confidence. I'm Dr. Barbara Sparacino, a triple board certified psychiatrist and coach, here to guide you through real-world strategies and expert advice to help your loved ones age with dignity while protecting your own well-being. Whether you're new to caregiving or have been at it for years, this playbook is for you. Let's dive in to today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to the Aging Parent Playbook. I'm your host, Dr. Barbara Sparacino, and today we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of you: sibling rivalry and family conflict when it comes to caregiving. As challenging as caregiving for aging parents can be, it's often the family dynamics, particularly the relationships between siblings, that can make this journey even more stressful. So, how do you navigate these conflicts without losing your cool, damaging relationships, or feeling overwhelmed by the pressure? That's what we'll be exploring today, along with strategies for managing sibling dynamics in a way that keeps both your family and your own mental health intact. Let's start by talking about why sibling rivalry often resurfaces when it comes to caring for aging parents. Even if you and your siblings got along fine in adulthood, caregiving can stir up long buried childhood dynamics. We're talking about things like old competition for attention, feelings of favoritism, or disagreements about who's the responsible one versus who's the free spirit. Sound familiar? Caregiving is a high stakes emotional experience. Each sibling may have different perspectives on what's best for mom or dad, and those differences can quickly spiral into conflict. One sibling might feel they're doing all the heavy lifting, while another might believe they're being unfairly criticized or excluded from decision making. It's easy to see how resentment can build. In my experience working with families, it's not just about the care itself. It's about the underlying emotions: guilt, fear, frustration, and even grief. These emotions often manifest in sibling relationships, leading to tension that can make an already difficult situation even more challenging. Before we dive into solutions, let's take a quick look at some of the most common causes of sibling conflict during caregiving. You may recognize some of these from your own experience. There may be an unequal division of responsibilities. One sibling feels that they're doing all the work while others aren't contributing as much. Likely, there are differing opinions on care. Some siblings may want to keep a parent at home while others think assisted living or in home care is best. There may be geographic distance. The sibling who lives closest to the aging parent often takes on the majority of the caregiving responsibilities, which can lead to feelings of unfairness. There may be financial stress. Decisions about money, especially if a parent's financial situation is unclear or if there are disputes about inheritance, can quickly lead to conflict. Lack of communication. Misunderstandings can escalate quickly when siblings aren't on the same page or when one sibling makes decisions without consulting the others. Do any of these sound familiar to you? If so, don't worry. You're not alone, and there are ways to manage these conflicts more effectively. Let's go through some strategies. The first and most important strategy for managing sibling dynamics is clear, open communication. You'd be surprised at how many family conflicts could be avoided simply by making sure everyone is on the same page. Here are a few tips to help with that. Set regular family meetings, whether it's in person, via Zoom. Establish a routine where everyone can discuss caregiving responsibilities, health updates, and decisions about your parents' care. These meetings ensure that everyone's voice is heard and that there are no misunderstandings about roles or expectations. Assign specific roles. Clarify each sibling's responsibilities and make sure they're based on what each person is realistically able to contribute. For example, a sibling who lives far away might handle finances while the one who lives nearby takes on more day-to-day caregiving tasks. Be transparent about decisions. Even if one sibling is taking the lead, it's important to communicate decisions and updates to everyone. Sending a group email or a text message after doctor's appointments, for example, can help keep everyone informed and involved. Now, clear communication won't solve everything, but it does lay the foundation for more productive discussions and less tension. Resentment is a common emotion during caregiving, particularly when responsibilities are unevenly distributed. If you feel like you're doing more than your fair share, or if a sibling is consistently not pulling their weight, it's important to address this head on, but with empathy. Here's how you can approach it. Use I statements. Instead of accusing or blaming, express how you feel. For example, say, I feel overwhelmed and could use more help with caregiving, rather than, you never do anything. This approach minimizes defensiveness and keeps the conversation constructive. Acknowledge different life circumstances. Keep in mind that each sibling has different life circumstances. One might have a demanding job, while another might have young kids or live far away. Instead of blaming, try to find ways that each person can contribute, even if it's in non traditional ways, like managing bills or scheduling appointments. It's all about finding balance and respecting that each sibling may have different capacities to help. And sometimes family dynamics are too difficult to resolve on your own. If communication has broken down or tensions are running high, bringing in a neutral third party can make a world of difference. I haven't done this frequently in my coaching practice, and it can make a world of a difference. This could also be a family therapist, a mediator, or even a geriatric care manager. A neutral third party can help facilitate difficult conversations, ensure that everyone's concerns are heard, and mediate conflicts without the added emotional baggage that comes with family relationships. Sometimes having an outside perspective helps siblings see things more clearly and work together more effectively. Another effective strategy is to create a written care plan. This can serve as a roadmap for the entire family and helps eliminate ambiguity about roles, responsibilities, and the parent's preferences. Here's what a plan might include: a list of caregiving tasks and who is responsible for each one, a schedule for who will be present to help, especially if care is shared between multiple people, financial responsibilities, including how care will be paid for and who will handle bills, health directives that outline your parents' medical preferences, a communication plan for how and when updates will be shared with siblings. Having everything written down not only keeps everyone on the same page, but also reduces the chance of misunderstandings. It's a concrete way to prevent conflict and ensure that everyone is clear on what needs to be done. Now, let's take a moment to focus on you, the caregiver. Managing sibling dynamics can be incredibly stressful on top of everything else you're dealing with. It's essential to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically, so that you don't burn out in the process. Here are a few self care strategies for managing the stress of family conflict. Set boundaries. It's okay to set limits with your siblings. If certain conversations are becoming too stressful, step away and revisit them later. Seek support. You don't have to navigate this alone, whether it's through a therapist, a support group, or even a trusted friend. Having someone to talk to can help you process your feelings and stay grounded. Prioritize rest and self care. Make sure you're taking time for yourself, whether that's getting enough sleep, taking breaks, or engaging in activities that recharge you. You can't be an effective caregiver if you're running on empty. Before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this. Caring for aging parents can be an incredibly emotional journey, and sibling conflict is often part of the process. But with clear communication, empathy, and thoughtful planning, it's possible to navigate these challenges without letting them damage your relationship or your own well being. If you take away just one thing from today's episode, let it be this: it's okay to ask for help, whether that's from your siblings, a professional, or your support network. No one should have to do this alone. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Aging Parent Playbook. If you found today's discussion helpful, please subscribe and share the podcast with others who might benefit. And as always, feel free to reach out with any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes. Take care. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Aging Parent Playbook. I hope you found the information useful and empowering. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to share it with someone who could benefit from this playbook too. For more tips, resources, and details about my coaching program, The Aging Parent Plan, visit my website at theagingparentcoach.com. Until next time, remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. We're in this together. The content shared on the Aging Parent Playbook is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical, legal, or financial advice. Always consult with a qualified professional regarding your specific situation. Listening to this podcast does not establish a doctor-patient relationship. Any opinions shared are my own and do not reflect those of any organization I'm affiliated with.